Well, hello, everybody. Good to see y'all again tonight. Charlie Platt, the Dirt Road Sports coming to you live, 8 o'clock tonight, Georgia time, 7 o'clock, Alabama time, 7 o'clock, Panhandle, Florida time, 6 o'clock, Copper Mountain, Colorado time, and 6 o'clock, Sheridan and Buffalo, Wyoming time. We got folks looking in on us out there, all the way out there in Wyoming. Me and Charlie Platt and Queezelurski and Floyd B. Lord on with y'all tonight. Missing one. So we coming to
Hmm.
y'all live tonight from Thompsontown, Georgia, right off the main driveway, main paved road, interstate going into Thompsontown, Georgia. Coming to you live from the old turn three at the old Rocket Speedway in Dothan, Alabama. You may be able to smell some of that rubber burning if y'all listen. You smell real close over there. Hear them tires squalling. That's where Charlie Platt from. And I'm coming to you live from Flamingo Boulevard, the best paved street in Colquitt, Georgia, because me, Floyd B. Lord, has got connections with people that do the street paving, peoples that are responsible for getting the I got connection with them kind of folks. So that's where we at right here on Flamingo Boulevard. If you ever come down Flamingo Boulevard, you won't have to worry about hitting no pothole. You won't have to worry about running off the road. You won't have to worry about crossing over in somebody else's lane because they got it all marked. It's all just slick asphalt. It's like that asphalt at the Talladega International Speedway. It's so good. But we coming to y'all live tonight. We want y'all to join us. We are missing one.
Hmm.
I didn't want to take a guess who we're missing.
Let's see.
Who are we? Let's see who. Oh, yeah, we missing Marvin, the main man at the studios at Enterprise, Georgia, coming to you with the Jimmy Swaggart and the Don Imus microphones hanging down, and the Dick Clark microphones hanging down. So we missing Marvin, and Marvin called me. He gave us plenty of warning today that he was not going to be on. He gave us ample warning. He called
Oh
me
yeah.
about 5 o'clock. Told me, he said, well, y'all, yeah, yeah, I got somebody lined up. Don't bring y'all up. I said, what? Whoa, slow down, Marvin. I can't be here. I got a meeting I got to go to. And he anyway, Marvin got. He told me. Here's what he told me. He said he's going to go to some kind of government meeting. Marvin's always got government meetings on his mind, on his agenda, if you will. So he was in Camilla, which is kind of a hub of U.S. and Georgia government activities. That's where they like to meet over there. I don't know what the drawing card is to Camilla, Georgia, but anyway, that's where they meet. So he's gonna meet up, but I'm getting some secondhand information that he had been called up there. Joe Biden had called him to MC the Pride Night up at the White House. But
Yeah.
understand that it ain't
Well,
called.
Yeah.
I heard something else.
What's that?
I heard he was flown over to the Vatican to stand by in case old Popey boy didn't wake up out of his surgery, see, and they were
Mm.
going, Marvin would have been there offering his services had the Pope kicked the bucket.
Well,
Has he left on over to the other
him,
side?
here's the inside scoop. What really happened? I think Floyd. I think you kindly owned to something, but Marvin had a bathing suit malfunction. That's why he ain't on here tonight. That bathing suit that he bought at Target before he went to the beach has malfunctioned,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Marvin is kind of in
Did
a.
it cause him some? Did it cause him some pain and distress?
Yeah, I thought when he was talking to me, the first thing popped in my mind is that nair hair remover about
Uh-huh.
what Bookie said about that pain and distress.
He called me, and he was talking in a high pitched
Yeah,
voice.
yeah,
You talking to me about it?
yeah.
I don't know. I ain't talked to him since I talked to him this afternoon on the phone. Sound like he got his voice back. He's probably still recovering from all of that. But we coming to y'all live tonight. We're gonna slug through this thing. We'll be fine. It's gonna be business as usual. We got people tuned in from all over the country. Cindy Rojo Phillips and Jason Mann out there in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, watching us. Now, who else? Who else? Who else? Where else can three rednecks get on a TV screen and folks in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, be watching? Nobody,
I,
nowhere but right here on the Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports Show.
can I say hello to the land of Elvis? Good friend Bill Marshall, former drummer for the Bama Band, Hank Williams Jr.'s, the thing that put Hank Williams Jr. on the map, boys. He's watching up in Memphis, Tennessee.
Come on,
Had,
yes,
had
sir.
a,
Yes, sir. Hey,
yeah,
we got to
had,
remember what. Hey, we diverse. We diverse. We practice equity and inclusion. So if you think like we do and you agree with what we agree with, keep watching. But if you don't agree with what we agree with, you're gonna reach a point. But somewhere in this show that you may throw something at your computer, but that'll be fine. That's your problem. That is not our problem. We're not
well,
here. We're not here to make everybody happy.
no,
I got some questions for Marvin when he
What do you
comes
think?
back.
Mhm.
You know,
Okay. Yeah, I know.
he went to
He got to fill us in.
well,
But I understand that they called off the Pride night at the White House on kind of the smoke from the forest fire.
he no, but he went to that government. He went to that government meeting that he was talking about, that conclave he was having, and then the next thing I know, plastered all over the television screen, is they done indicted Donald Trump again. And
Come
I'm
on.
wondering what Marvin, if Marvin had some. You reckon Marvin had any dealings in with that kind of stuff up there?
Here's how it works. Let me tell you how these government conclave meetings work like that. They call them a meeting. They got all the dignitaries, all of them with titles, just titled people.
Right.
It's top men, if you will,
That's
at
right.
the conclave at the meeting. They go in there and they got them all coffee. They got all the coffee you drink. They got coffee and they got soda water and they got fruit punch and there's some of them like to drink fruit punch, you know. Some folks like to drink coffee. They got some fruit punch in there. They got the cupcakes in there and they got all that stuff. And they got free pens. They give you a free pen and a free little tablet there. You can write,
Yeah.
write stuff
Take
on.
notes.
They give you a calendar. Forget that it's June already, but they give you a 2023 calendar. You got all that. Then you got your agenda. They got to hand you the agenda. And here's what happens. And this is a microcosm of what happens in government. They give you what's happening in Camilla, Georgia at this moment is a microcosm of what happens throughout the United States of America, government wise. They got an agenda, and they'll look over the agenda. And then the chairman up there, he'll do I hear a motion that somebody read the minutes from the last meeting, and the minutes will be like this. Well, we had a meeting and we tabled everything, and everybody went home. Okay, yeah. Everybody okay. How about the minutes? Any corrections to the reading of the minutes? None. Okay, approved is read. Okay, they got that out of the way. they go, then they go come in there, and then they gonna start talking about old business. Well, we ain't got no old business because we tabled everything from the last meeting, so we ain't got no any new business. But we're gonna talk about that whenever we get to that part in the agenda, Mr. Chairman. So anyway, he goes on, and they go to talking back and forth, and they go to introducing one another. And Marvin is the only man I know of it takes him 15 minutes to introduce himself. So you got to go through all of that. You think about it. Think about all that Marvin has done, all that he is, how long it takes. He's the only man I know of. Well, I knew one other from Colquitt that would he 15 minutes. But Marvin, what do you think? We on the same
Yeah,
line?
yeah,
On
we on the
the same
same line.
thing. But it take Marvin
We
15
on the
minutes to
same
introduce. So
line.
they got to go through all of that. They got to go through all that. And then they get down to the business, the new business. And then they'll talk about the new business. And they'll talk about this. And they'll talk about, and what they'll talk about, they'll cover. And I heard one of them say this one time at a meeting. It wasn't at this kind of meeting, another meeting, that they were going to present, this is verbatim, they were going to present an in-depth of the overview.
That sounds about right.
Now that's it. We're going to present an in-depth of the overview. And anyway, they can present the in depth of the overview, and then they talk about censuring one another, and
That's
this
right.
one done that, and this one done that. This one he's paying his girlfriend out of the city funds, and that it just goes on like that. And then finally somebody there comes, they say, uh, well, I have a motion that we proceed. And then somebody says, I second the motion. Okay, are there any discussion on proceeding? Uh, uh, Nobody has no discussion on that. So anyway, somebody said, I move that we table all the new business to the next meeting. We have a motion that we table all the business to the next meeting. Do I have a second? I say, all those approved, yay! All those opposed, motion carried. We table it. We adjourned, and that's it. I mean,
That's
that's
it.
it. Go ahead, John.
Let's put it into, if you will, biblical terms. Let's go back to the Old Testament, Queasel. You remember the story of the flood and old fellow named Noah?
Remember it.
Okay. Well, God told Noah to build an ark. It was going to rain.
That's right.
He did not say, get Marvin, get Queasel, get Floyd, get Charlie. Y'all have a committee meeting, if you will, and go over all of what y'all might want to do in the event of. He told a man to build an ark, how to do it, job done, two of everything on earth saved, and the beat goes on.
Yeah, but you can't operate. You can't operate that way now.
Why not?
Well, you have to have a meeting first of all to see if you need to have a meeting.
There you go. Now you're preaching. That's it.
Now, once you have that meeting to decide if you need to have a meeting, then you have to have a discussion over when that's going to be, so that you can have a quorum there, so that you can tend to business when it comes up. And if you don't have a quorum, you can't have the meeting because all you can't officially tend to no business.
Well, in that case, we wouldn't be here today had Noah called him a committee together to see what might.
Noah said, we're going to table that.
Yeah. We don't need to build no boat. The sun, look at the sun. It's shining. Been shining for the last 2 weeks. We don't need to build no boat.
Table that. We'll talk about it. We'll worry about that tomorrow. Look, I forgot all about one of our newest viewers that we've got that's tuned into us. I forgot to acknowledge that viewer, and he comes from a long way away, and he's got an interesting business that we need to talk about. If I may, if I may give a shout out to one of our newest viewers that we've got picked up. He's on his 25-inch portable black and white.
That's what I'm talking about.
Whoa!
He has to move around a lot because he gets firebombed a pretty good little bit in there, and he said he has to move around. So he got that portable TV. He can move with him anywhere, but he can pick us up. So he's joining us tonight for the first time, very first time. The name is. Marvin needs to do this so I can laugh. So anyway, and remember this name to begin with. This name, Honky Boys. Honky Boys, rental rim recovery and repo. Bulletproof vest, armed guards, and life insurance in Compton, California. So we're going to give a big shout out to Honky Boy tonight. That's a brave human being. Let me tell you. One brave human being. If he's in the rental rim repo business and he got a name called Honky Boys, he gonna need a bulletproof vest and an armed guard.
We're branching on out there if we getting into California.
I don't know if y'all get, some of you folks probably in Martha's Vineyard didn't put all of this together, but you pretty much got to be a South Alabama or South Georgia redneck to understand what I just told y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't you don't think they got any rim rental places at Martha's Vineyard? Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't think they got any rent-a-rim businesses or rent-a-rim repo businesses in Martha's Vineyard. But anyway, in the event any of you people from Martha's Vineyard are listening, you need to Google rent-a-rim and see how that will work out. And Google Honky Boy and see how that'll work out for you. But we just three old South Georgia rednecks and South Alabama rednecks down there having a good time, visiting with one another, sharing stories with one another, enjoying each other's company. Hadn't talked to none of them had talked to nobody since last week, other than over the phone, called Charlie and asked him if it's raining, that kind of thing. Call Queel, ask him, does he got any more potatoes out there? And does he want some squash that Charles Pickles has brought him to the house? Things like that. That's the only time we talk. Talk to Marvin. Can't talk to Marvin. Marvin is hard to get on the telephone. But anyway, he
You
will
get
call
that
you
click.
back.
Whoa. I gotta get whoa. Credit where credit is due.
Okay.
After you told me that we would not be dealing with Marvin tonight, I sent him the two pictures, as you instructed me to do. Well, curiosity got the cat for some reason or another, and Marvin actually called me, Floyd, wanting to know, well, who's that a picture of? Who is that fella? Who is he? Who is he?
Yeah, want to know. Yeah.
Our director, if you would put up, let me go ahead and put that up and tell that little bit of story. We asked last week for prayers for our buddy Lamar Morris. Well, Lamar passed away last Thursday night or Friday morning. His funeral was in Op this past Monday, and I was there along with the Bama band. All the members could not make it. Bill Marshall's watching us tonight in Memphis. Ray Barrickman, left-handed bass man, is in Kentucky watching. But Cowboy made the trip to represent the Bama band and played steel guitar. Cowboy played for Hank Jr. 15 years. He played even back in the old Floyd B. Lloyd music days. And I didn't know this until several years ago. Some of the Allman Brothers stuff and a little old group called Leonard Skinner, when they recorded up in Atlanta, my old friend Buddy, the late Buddy Bowie, called Cowboy to come hit those steel licks on some of those old rock and roll tunes. But Cowboy is a fine man. He has had a life-changing experience with the good Lord. And Cowboy and I had a good time making up stories on stories of each other and talking about our friend Lamar. But the Bama band loved Lamar Morris, and rest in peace, Lamar. The interesting thing to note, the preacher that did that said that Lamar accepted the Lord 20 years ago, probably at the age of 64, 65. And his wife, Kathy, when he did that, was rebaptized. They were baptized together.
Amen.
And we know where Lamar is tonight. On the left-hand side, Floyd talking about needing rain. That is a middle of a peanut field on Beverly Road in Dothan, Alabama, yesterday afternoon. Water was 2/3 of the way across the road at Beverly Middle School. That peanut field had water all over it. It must have dumped about one of those, as Louis Gazard used to say, it come up a cloud right there and just dumped it out in a short period of time. And that we all need some rain. I know we do in the farming business for sure, but it was just little spotted showers yesterday. Floyd, you now see how nice that rain was.
I'm telling you, but I'm telling you, we got a little sprinkles. All we got here in Coffee. I think it rained down south of us, down around Lake Seminole. If anybody y'all down there, y'all got any rain? Anybody got any rain? Plug in on over here on y'all see who's watching everything. Plug us in. Let us know if you got any rain. We're glad you did, because if wherever you are, you needed the rain. I promise you. But it's coming. The rain's coming. All you got to do is just wait on it. It'll be here when it gets here. I've seen long dry spells before, and I've seen long wet spells before. So that's one thing. There's one thing that humans have no control over. Uh, just in my opinion, of course, not in a Democrat's opinion, they think that man can control the weather. Man has no control over the weather, and this goes back to the creation of time. So anyway, go ahead, John.
One more quick thing I'd like to say, and it's a sad note, but it's life. Fellow that talked us up as much as anybody did and enjoyed watching us. Mr. Charles Mercer passed away this past Friday, and he was one of our regular viewers, and we're gonna miss not looking down and seeing that Mr. Charles is watching us on Thursday night. But
Yep.
To Nick, his grandson, and to his daughter Terry and all the family, our condolences to you, and our thoughts and prayers are with you.
Yep, he tuned us in, buddy. He tuned us in. He was an auction hog too, man. He loved to go to them auctions. He would be there when he was able. But anyway, that's a cycle of life, man. We coming in, we're going. We coming in, we're going. We got a time that we born, and we got a time that we gonna die. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm old time hard shell. And it says this in the book, says you are appointed a time. That means when that clock strikes that, you better get ready to hook up because you're going to leave. Don't matter if you're on the operating table, don't care where you are. You are appointed a time. That's my belief. You can believe any way you want to do. You're not going to change me. It's like these Jehovah's Witnesses that come to my house. They're not going to change me, and I ain't going to change them. We buddies when we leave. I say, thank y'all for coming. God bless you. Have a good one. But just move on. So if y'all believe that, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine. And that's my sermon for the night.
I
Good.
believe it 100%. I absolutely believe that there is you are given a not a second, a split second. That's it.
Mhm.
When your numbers call, that's
Mhm.
it. It don't make no difference what you're doing. You can't stop it. Now the book says that you can do some foolish things to rush it up
Oh
if
yeah.
you want
Got
to.
it. You can do that. You get out there
But
in front of the train and gonna stop it.
yeah,
I see you, but you done lost all your
that's right.
mindset. You done lost all your things. You're not functioning. Uh, and I think God said, well said he will go ahead. He's ready to go.
But
So I'm
and
gonna
then here's the part that nobody else that wants to listen to. It says after that comes the judgment that you got to face too, and we're all gonna have to face it.
Mhm.
And I hope people listen. I hope people understand because I've been studying Hebrews. And in Hebrews, it talks about how Jesus brought the new covenant. You know, the old covenant was in the Old Testament. It was for the Israelites between God and the Israelites. And when Jesus came, he brought the new covenant. And in that new covenant, it says that there is no excuse for no man to not know God and who God is. So this business about, well, I don't know, that ain't gonna work. You see, we get by on that nowadays. You know, I didn't know nothing about it. You do know about it.
Oh yeah, you do know about
You
it.
do
Yeah,
know about it
you know
Yeah.
because see,
that.
he
And
took care
all
of that when he sent the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is here. It's amongst. It's moving. It's living. And people say, "Well, I'm not conscious." Well, it's your conscious, but the Holy Spirit is what gets you conscious in gear and
that is
makes it
the Holy
move.
Spirit is your conscience.
You
That
better
is your.
believe.
Let's move
So
on. Let's get on in there. We preach to these folks because we're gonna preach it to them some more after a while. But let's get on. Let's get some of these folks. Let's pay some bills, if you will. Cody, if you got anything up there you want to throw on the screen, we can talk about any of our fine sponsors, and we can talk about tonight. There you go, right there. Ziggy B
mhm.
popped up number one. I was in there today. I was in there today with Miss Anthony. Boy, she had that seafood lined up in there. I bought me some shrimp. Today's shrimp day, Thursday shrimp night. Missed it last Thursday night, but we hooked on tonight with the shrimp, fried shrimp. I had some fried shrimp, a good green tossed salad. Got me some good fresh shrimp from her in there. She had all them fine. She had some of the prettiest little whole catfish you ever seen in your life, and I love them little whole catfish. Fry them in that good peanut oil and make you some coleslaw and get you some raw onion and make you some hush puppies and maybe some cheese grits or some of them real good French fried potatoes that you fry, not them frozen kind of potatoes, but them kind that you slice up. that you slice up and you dice them up and you put them in some hot peanut oil. Put your little flour and a little cornmeal on them to start with. On them French fried potatoes, put them in there, cook them. But get you some, go in there to Ziggy B's and get you some of that fresh seafood. I don't care what you want. You can get anything you want. She got scallops. She got shrimp. She got lobster tail. She got steaks. She got whatever you want in the seafood line, and it is 100% fresh. I guarantee you. Some of the best salmon. She'll cut you off some of little salmon steaks. You put them on the grill. You can kind of pan sear them and a little bit of olive oil there on top of your stove and make them work like that. You talk about something fine. I'm telling you that Ziggy B's has got it. And I went in there not long ago and I took Ziggy B's some Uncle Billy sauce. And I told her, I said, hey, just try you some of it. So anyway, she called me today. Floyd, when you gonna give me some more Uncle Billy sauce? She said they folks lined up out the door. They're all the way over there in the Forward Place parking lot wanting Uncle Billy sauce. And I ain't made none. I ain't made none. I've been doing other things. I had other irons in the fire that I had to heat. You always, if the ox is in the ditch, you got to get that ox out of the ditch before you can go anywhere else. But I'm gonna make up some more Uncle Billy sauce. There's gonna be some of that in there. Any kind of good stuff you want, Ziggy B's, you go see her right there. It's over there on West Main Street in Colquitt, Georgia, 229-254-7115. That's her cell phone number. You call her anytime you want to call her. She'll talk to you because she is in the seafood business. Ziggy B's Seafood Market and Steamer, Colquitt, Georgia.
All right, let's do a little barbecuing right now. You talking about some fine barbecue? They got it, and we're going to tell you that Outlaws Bussin' Barbecue is coming soon to Troy, Alabama, corner of US 231 and 3 Knot Street. That's easy to find. You'll be able to find it real easy, and you'll be able to, when you get there, have some of the best pulled pork barbecue, ribs, side dishes that you'll find anywhere in this country. It's barbecue time of the year. If you're going out to the lake or something like that, you always want to have some barbecue and take with you. Look on Facebook and see where Outlaws will be this weekend. They'll be at a location and they'll be there cooking. Find out where they are. Call them. You just go by, pick you up some ribs, some pulled pork, some of that good coleslaw, other great side dishes. You will not regret it. It is some fine stuff. Outlaws Bussin' Barbecue coming soon to Troy, 231 and 3 Notch, and also soon in the old Kmart Shopping Center, Bainbridge, Georgia. Troy will be open first, but check them out this weekend. Look them up on Facebook, and you'll find exactly where they'll be located all weekend long.
There it is. You're talking about a one-stop shop. That's it. That is a one-stop shop right there. They got everything you need in any kind of automotive or any type of farming parts, lubricants, whatever it is you need in that line. They got it. And here's the thing about it: if they ain't got it, they'll get it, and it won't be all so long about getting it. The most of everything they can get overnight. But they carry a huge selection. Most everything they keep in stock. They got all your hydraulic oils and your farm lubricants. They got some of that good grease that you keep. Man, you got to keep all the farm implement greased up. Ain't nothing in the world no better than a well greased machine. Cause one that ain't got no grease on it ain't gonna work just right. So you need to keep it greased up. Don't put that old cheap grease in there, man. Put that good grease in there. That good waterproof grease that'll stay in there with it and keep them bearings going. Cause all that fussing and cussing you doing while you fussing about changing out them bearings, if you'd have greased them, you wouldn't have had to change them out. So go by there and get some of that grease. They got some of the best bearing grease it is. And when I say full service, listen to me now. You can go over there into the Holster 9 and you get one of them fine firearms that they got showed up there in that picture. And you take that firearm and you go out there and kill you some game. Kill you some kind of game, whatever it is you want to. And you can go get you one of them world-renowned Floyd B. Lloyd rabbit pellet grills. And you can take that game that you have killed with one of them guns that you got from the Holster 9, buy you some of them rabbit pellets down there, put them on there, and then you have been a provided for yourself off of the land. And man, and where else can you go to get everything that you need to do that? Not only that, we live in a time to where that Holster 9 store is getting more and more important every day. It's a shame to say it, but we live in a time now that when you walk out the door of your house, you better have something with you to protect you. Floyd's going to remind you that at the end of the show. You better have somewhere protecting you and your family because nobody has any respect for you or anybody else any longer. Go see them, Phillips Auto Parts, Johnny and Key. They got anything you need in that store. They got some gifts in there, any kind of farm, like I said, in automotive need. They got those grills in there that are just absolutely. They if you ever cook on one, you spoil. You won't want nothing else. Get you somebody. Look at them grills. Get you some of them pellets, and then that gun shop. That gun shop got repair. They got any kind of ammunition you want. Most any kind of gun that you want, they got it or they can get it. They hope local folks got a lot invested, depending on the hometown people right here in Colquitt, Miller County, the surrounding counties to keep them afloat. They located right just outside of town on 27 South, right there. Can't miss them. Go by there and see them. Tell them you heard about us on the Dirt Road Sports, and they might give you a discount. They might not, but they might. But you ain't gonna know if you don't try it. So go by and see them. They're good people.
Thank you, Queasel. Thank you, Charlie. We those fine advertisements. We couldn't be on here without them. I tell you what, they help us pay the light bill, and help us pay this internet bill that we have to come up with every week. So we appreciate y'all tuning in to us, man. We got them tuned in. They folks agreeing with us. Look at here, no rain in North Georgia area. So here's one right here. You guys had me on the floor laughing at work last Thursday. Good Lord have mercy. We got a man. That's what we want. We want to make you feel good. We want to make you. We ain't here. We not here to hurt your feelings. We here to make you laugh. We all on the same team. Sounds like folks that watches us. But it's time. Go ahead, John.
If we want to have some fun, sure enough, we hadn't heard any updates lately from any of your dysfunctional family. Let's say, you know the one I'm talking about.
Ain't heard nothing from them. I try to stay away from. You talking about Buki? Who you
I'm
talking
talking
about?
about Bookie and his mama and his daddy. Hadn't
Bookie's
heard
over there in
nothing.
Alabama.
Yeah, Uncle
Bookie's
Rudy
over in
Roy ain't
Alabama.
Rojo. Uncle Rudy Roy ain't Rojo.
That's where
But
Bookie
I
is.
hadn't heard from them lately. I think they all of them. They getting them a pretty good check now. And they increased. Joe Biden increased their food stamps, so they getting along pretty good there. And I still don't think you can get snuff on food stamps. But there's a way you can go around that if you go to the.
Oh man, 50 cents
Bookie to
on the
find it.
dollar.
Yeah, you can get some snuff. And anyway, last time I seen Boogie, he had not run out of snuff. He was well balanced. He was a well balanced man because he had it running out of both corners of his
Good
mouth
mouth.
at the same time.
That's it. That's it.
What about our little trivia question in here, y'all? Y'all ready for the trivia question? We got
Yeah.
Let's go with it.
on y'all tonight. It's always sponsored by our good friends at Southern Hissy Fits on the square in Colquitt, Georgia, over on the southwest corner of the square in Colquitt, Georgia, run by some mighty fine folks over there, hard-working folks, family owned, family operated. You go in there and tell them what you want. You go in there and take them a picture of what you want to put on a cup or on a mug or on a shirt or on a coat, a pocketbook, an umbrella, whatever you want. Go in there and see them folks over there at the Hissy Fit. I'm going to talk about them more than Marvin talks about them. Marvin just barely runs through, mentions them a little bit. But they got all kind of gifts. I bought my wife Christmas presents and their necklaces and bracelets and all that kind of good stuff at Southern Hissy Fit. They operate a first class business in there. They are in the service business. They give you whatever you want, whatever you ask for. If they can do it, they'll do it. And work with them folks over there. Local people doing good business here in Colquitt, Georgia. So y'all go by and see Southern Hissy Fits. And they always sponsor our trivia question. They've been so good to sponsor our trivia question. They give us a cup, give us a mug every time. We give it to the winner. That's their contribution to the Dirt Road Sports and Charlie Platt. And they enjoy it. They get a kick out of it. They enjoy it. They're good folks. So go by and see them at Southern Hissy Fits. And the trivia question for tonight is this. This is an automotive trivia question. We're talking about a brand of automobile. So remember that. We're talking about a brand of automobile. All right. 65% of what brand of automobile, since they started making them, 65% of them is still on the road. What was that brand of automobile that there's 65% of them that's been made throughout their whole history that's still on the road? What's the name of the automobile? Call 229-254-2727. Text me. First one, that's my phone number. First one that texts me with the right answer, you win the mug. Nope, it ain't Subaru. 65% of them that's ever
Is it
been made.
Yugo? Whoa, Yugo. Could it be Yugo?
No,
You
Hugo done went.
Oh,
you can't win nowhere if it was Yugo, but it ain't Yugo.
Hugo done went.
No, Yugo with 1% of Yugo. 65% of what make of automobile is still on the road from the inception, from the time they started making them until now. 65% of them is still on the road. Text me at 229-254-2727. I know y'all Googling, y'all searching the web, but I'm gonna make you look for it. You're gonna have to look for it. You can't just punch something in. You gotta look for it. Automobile. I've always loved automobile. Let's see. Oh, we got them up here. Whoa. No, not a Ford, not a Chevy. Oh, no, not even close. Fords and Chevy. I love me some Fords and Chevys. So.
our pup would have hit it on my Facebook page. It was a Chevrolet.
Nah, he wrong. No.
Lee ought to have known better than that.
65% of Chevrolet still on the road, man. Please, they 65% of Chevrolet been tore up at racing. It ain't a Ford. It ain't a Ford. Nadine said Ford. It ain't a Ford. No. Y'all so far off it. Y'all so far off out there. It ain't even real. 65% of what make a car is still on the road from when they first started making them. I'm gonna give y'all just a little bit longer, and I'm gonna drop one on you. I'm gonna tell you what.
Can you give them a hint of foreign or domestic?
It's a good car.
That
George
didn't answer
Williams
that
said a
question.
Dodge Charger. George Williams, a Dodge Charger, man. The Dukes of Hazzard tore up every Dodge Charger they was left in the United States of America. And Billy Kimball tore one up himself. I threw one all to pieces one time. They put it back together, but it was pretty much you go down the road and it goes sideways. It runs sideways. Anyway, it ain't a Volkswagen. It ain't a Chevy. It ain't a Dodge Charger. No.
I got it narrowed down to two. I think I know what it's one of the two, but I don't know which one.
You can't
I ain't gonna
win.
say.
You
I ain't
can't
gonna say.
You can't say.
I ain't gonna say.
That's a pretty good question, ain't it?
I'm just gonna go by what I from my old mechanicking experience. Which ones was the built?
Here's what I'm gonna tell you. That's what I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna give y'all a hint. You have never worked on one in your life, Queasel.
Whoop! That knocks me out.
Whoa, right here. Miss Deborah Middleton said Rolls Royce. That's the answer. Miss Deborah Middleton, I know where you stay. You the winner. I think I know where you stay. Sure do. Miss Deborah Middleton, it's a Rolls Royce. 65% of them still on the road. Ain't that amazing?
I have worked on one.
You worked what you have. Well,
there was a man down there in Mariana, Florida, named Mr. Charlie Bales. It had one. He had a. If you go into Mariana the back way, turn and go in there and go by the. You take that back road and go in there by the
airport.
Kind of go and it goes in. It goes in there by the caverns.
Caverns, yeah.
There's a big old house up there on the left. He lived in that house. He had a big old horse farm, and he traded with us. He come through there, and we worked on it one day. And I think he used to trade with us coming through from Mariana up to Atlanta. He did a lot of business up in Atlanta.
I got you. And, yeah, man, with a Rolls Royce doing business all over the place.
And we sure did. Sure did.
Well, let's talk about some interesting facts that's happening around the world, in fact, if you will, and it could be happening here pretty shortly. Because what happens everywhere else, we're about the last people that get affected by it because we are living in the old original Garden of Eden. That's where we are right now. But anyway, there's things happening around that some of y'all might need to be, concerned about, and just some things that I've noticed in the news. And I caught this afternoon. They got all them wildfires burning in Canada. Y'all know what the news media says is causing that, don't you? Global warming. It's global
Global
warming.
warming, of course.
I'm gonna tell you how many they said that they were 933 wildfires burning in forest in Canada, and of course all that smoke's blowing down New York City and Pennsylvania and Washington D.C. It's got everybody in a panic mode, panic, and that's what they function on. That's what they strive on. That's what they thrive on is panic. Everybody panic. But there's nine. Remember this now. Get this. You had to watch all these news to get all this information. 933 wildfire. Now, do y'all think that for a moment that 933 wildfires in Canada just spontaneously combusted all at one time? Huh? You know what starts fire? Let me tell you what starts fire. Somebody with a match.
Matches.
Firebugs. Yeah, that's it. Firebug. It starts with a match. Forest doesn't do not. I don't care if it gets to 120 degrees. Forests do not just spontaneously combust. 933 forests. Somebody's starting the forest fires, but they never talk about that. They don't talk about that. They don't want to talk about that because it's inconvenient. Because the convenient thing to talk about is global warming, climate change, do away with the cars, do away with the automobile, get everybody back on in a mule and wagon. Then you'll have to do away with the mule because he'll be flashyating all over the place and causing that. So you just have the wagon. So you hook somebody up to the wagon, I reckon, to pull that.
But
That's just one thing. What's y'all's thoughts on that?
well, they don't want to talk about what the smoke from all them fires. I think I read today it was either 4.9 or 9.4 million acres that is owned
9.4 million. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, and what about the smoke from that? What does that do for global warming? I mean, you want to talk about the dangers, but they don't want to talk about that. See, because it messes up their narrative. Their narrative is that what you just said, that global warming spontaneously combusted these fires out there. The other thing they need to do is them Canadians need to get up off their butt and go put the fires out. That's what we would do.
They're stupid as if people in California are. You
That's
know,
exactly right.
me and Nadine, we ride back and forth to Albany. We've been going back and forth to the doctor up there for a couple of years now. Itchaway Plantation, there's 35,000 acres of Itchaway Plantation. Pine forest, longleaf pine forest, still standing. Been standing there for 100 years or better. You know why they're still standing there? Because
I
they
know exactly why.
control burn. They control the vegetation. They burn it off. It creates new growth. It creates wildlife. It's a habitat for wildlife. But these fools in California and in Canada and all these greenies, they hadn't figured that deal out yet about what causes a forest fire. I tell you what, a match causes a forest fire. Somebody going by setting them on fire, and it ain't a thing in the world so that it can bring more attention to the global warming force.
And if folks would have paid attention to Smokey Bear, he'd been telling them that for 100 years. I remember when I was little.
What did they say? Yeah,
Smokey Bear told me plain today, only you can prevent forest fire.
Only you can prevent fire, or you can start forest fires. That's the other thing.
That Itchaway story you want to, when they first come into conception, way back yonder. I trained that fire department way back yonder when they were, and I don't ever, and I mean ever, remember them having a wildland fire, out of control wildland fire on their property.
Yeah.
Because, like you say, they do prescribed burning. You know what they have when they burn thousands and thousands and thousands of acres, and they'll have a 25-gallon sprayer with a little spray nozzle on it. That's what they control in fires.
Put it out. That's right. They put it out because they can control it. It's control. It's like a child. It's like an out of control child. You let an out of control child. You give him everything you want. Give him all the candy he wants, all the soda water he wants. Give him the keys to your car, and you fixing to have a mess. It's the same thing with forest fire. You let it be out of control. You don't manage it, and I'll tell you what's going to happen. Same thing's happening. But there's 933 wildfires burning in Canada. Let's talk about something else. All we got now is the big fentanyl problem. Fentanyl coming in all from Mexico everywhere. Well, Joe Biden's ban said ain't none of it coming across illegal. It's all coming through the border check areas and semis and cars. None of it coming through illegally. So you wipe that out. The illegal aliens are not contributing to any of the fentanyl. But here's, I was reading a story here the other day about fentanyl. Fentanyl becoming a problem in prisons. In prisons. Now these guys are locked up in prison. They can't get out and get on the street with the dealer and with all that kind of fentanyl becoming. Guess who's bringing the fentanyl inside to the prisoners? The guards, the people from the outside who are being paid to bring the fentanyl in. And here's my take on it. I don't y'all tell me if I'm right or wrong. Here's what I'm thinking. They ought to allow all the fentanyl that these prisoners want. They need to let them bring it in because it's going to kill them. And then when it kills them, you don't have to worry about them no more.
No.
So just bring in all the fentanyl. Let them have all the fentanyl. Here's free fentanyl. Like in New York City, I bet they got vending machines giving out free crack pipes. So the next thing is free crack, So
Yeah.
just bring it on in, bring it in, let them bring it into the prison. Say, here, how much fentanyl you want today? You want 4 tablets? You want 6? How much you want? Oh man, to get low me up. Yeah, take you some. Ooh, check him on his cellar now. He's stiff. So you through with him. So just let them bring it in.
So
there's a young man that went on a trip, and we won't get into all detail about. I heard about the trip. It was a young men, a bachelor party, if you will, in New Orleans, Louisiana. Recently, as in last weekend. And he was appalled at the fact, you can't drive their car down Bourbon Street. You walk down Bourbon Street. He says, but what was out in the middle of Bourbon Street? You had a guy it wasn't just one, it was several, had a little table set up, rolling blunts up.
Come on.
As they come by, say, good weed, good coke.
Mm-hmm.
You could buy weed and cocaine in the middle of Bourbon Street, not in some alley somewhere, not on the sidewalk, right out there in the middle. And somebody asked him, said, well, where was the law? He said he saw one lawman ride through all of it, could see what was going on a horse.
He kept rolling. Mm-hmm.
Kept rolling.
Because if he'd have tried to do anything about it, it'd have been a mob. They'd have beat him to death. It'd have been a mob. And they don't care. Hey man, that fool, you go ahead and let her roll. But that's one good reason why me and Nadine ain't going to New Orleans, Louisiana. That's why we're going to stay on Flamingo Boulevard, buddy, right here. But it's a fact. I know. It is a fact. Well, guys, it's getting about time to close us out. We done been on the road tonight without Marvin. Ain't heard a peep out of Marvin. Don't know nothing about Marvin. If he's alive, he's well. He ain't checked in to check on what we're doing, how we're feeling, how we're doing that.
I hope
it's about time to close us out.
Yeah, I hope he's making it all right with that baby.
Want to add to it?
Huh?
Y'all got anything you want to add?
Well, I'm just concerned about Marvin. I hope he's making it all right. I don't know if he's tangled all up in that bathing suit or what's happening. I don't know, but I'm concerned about it.
We can't do this visitation without a short list and some pondering by Floyd. Now what?
We go have some. I got me a short list and my pondering. I got a pondering here that here's a pondering that I'm going to talk about. I don't know if any of you saw this or not, but it was on some of my news media sources. Group of children, and I saw the video. I saw the children singing. They probably was 10 to 12 years old. Group of children, and they came from a Rushing Brook Children's Choir from Greenville, South Carolina. Mm-hmm. They had been invited to the Capitol building, to tour the Capitol building by their congressman, United States congressman. They're singing a song in the halls of Congress. They're going along good. They can sing good too. Y'all need, some of you people that hadn't seen this, y'all might want to YouTube this or check it out. But they're singing a song that is a revolutionary protest song that had to be silenced. And the Capitol Police came and silenced them. You know what the song was? Star Spangled Banner. They were singing the Star Spangled Banner in the capital of the United States of America. And here this stupid DC Capitol policeman, the guy was directing the kids, directing the children, and they were singing. It was beautiful, melodious. He came up there, he tapped him on the shoulder and said, "You got to stop this. You got to cut this." So he just stopped him. And it was, that's a revolutionary protest song. And we don't have any of that in the Capitol. This is like January 6th might get out of hand. With 10-year-olds in the capital of the United States of America, Democrat president sitting his butt up there in the office, pretending to be a man, pretending to be the president of the United States. And this is taking place under our noses. Capital of the United States of America. That's a pondering that I have for y'all, for you to ponder on. I want you to think about that, where your tax money is going, where all your money, every penny that work out and try to rake and scrape and you have to pay taxes on, going to that mess. So that's it. That's my pondering for tonight. And that's pretty good little thought there for y'all to think about. But I got some short lists for y'all tonight. Always have some short lists. First short list is this. Now, this is a very short list. Democrats. Let me repeat myself. Hold on just a second. Democrats that hate Satan more than they hate Donald Trump. Come on, call me. Y'all let me know. Hey, my number, you just throw my number, but call me, let me know. Hate Satan more than they hate Donald. They hate Donald Trump with a passion. They will never leave the man alone. He will never be free to function like a normal human being again in his life, nor his family. That's a short list. Here's one right here. Major media news outlets that will steal, phone, and slobber over Joe Biden once Michelle Obama announces her intention to run for president. Joe be gone, won't he?
He gone. He be out with the bathwater.
He gone. He's in a home. Ooh, look at here. Look coming down. Here's Michael Michelle coming. Look at him. Ooh, we saved now. Hope and change, baby. Hope and change. Coming back at you. Hope and change. You hope for some change when they get through with you. Okay. Here's one you think about. I want you veterans, any veterans out there listening in, I want you you'll certainly know what I'm talking. And you people at Martha's Vineyard up there, I know you don't have any idea what I'm talking about. You just go right over top of your head. Soldiers that landed on Normandy Beach on June the 6th, 1944. Oh, Google that. Go back. I know, but some of you folks in Martha's Vineyard ain't got no idea what that day was. Go Google June 6, 1944, Normandy Beach. Soldiers that landed on Normandy Beach on June 6, 1944, that were wearing dresses, high heel shoes, and lipstick.
Amen, brother. Amen.
That's the shortest of all short lists.
That's it. You got it.
What do you think about that? Yeah, I'm giving y'all things to think about yourself, to ponder on yourself. And then here's where we are today. Here's where we are right now. They're having Pride Night at the Capitol. They couldn't have it because the smoke from the global warming, climate change, forest fire smoked them out. And I thought they like blowing smoke up on one another. I thought they loved, but I don't think they could blow smoke. Anyway, like that. It was in the, here one right here. Muslim terrorists, Islamic terrorists that own stock in Gillette and Norelco. It take a while. I know it take a while to get Gillette and Norelco. They said the grand hoopla over in Afghanistan done put out a decree that Muslim men can't shave their beards no more because they done got Afghanistan, it's the Taliban. So you can't shave your beard no more. I didn't think they ever shaved their beards anyway. They never were groomed. And have y'all seen any of them Muslims in Afghanistan that were groomed? No. Okay. Hey, look, here's one right here. Here's let's see if I got another one. I think this stuff just comes to me and I just write it down. I just have an epiphany. So I don't want to go past anything. I done got the Democrats and the Satan and all that, and the soldiers and the Muslims, stalking Chilean and the rest of them. Here's the last one. No, this is the next to the last one. Other than Barack Hussein Obama and Michelle Obama, people on Martha's Vineyard that have an air freshener hanging from the rearview mirror of their automobile.
Woo!
What do you think? Hey, ain't nothing but the truth. Hey, we here for the truth. We not here to play games with y'all. This ain't nothing but the truth. And here's the last one, including his bladder and his bowels. Things that Joe Biden has any control over. That's it for tonight for old Floyd. Charlie, take us on. Give us something to think about, man. I done shrug everybody down. Let's pump everybody up, man.
Well, let's see. We ain't got about 30 seconds apiece, so keep that in mind. I'm trying to think of my short list. And my short list would be any politician or government official other than a firefighter like Queasel that I have any respect for at all. Now, that's my short list. We need to pray for this country because we're in a big mess. A few of the things Floyd talked about just touched on. Let me mention this. When you did your thing about, just let things go and things like, we had a case here where somebody ran from the police this week. You know how it ended up? They're dead. Now think about it. All the person had to do was obey a simple, when the blue light comes on, you need to stop.
Pull up.
It's just common sense to do that. But we're in a time period in this country, in this world, where common sense died, and there's very few, most of them died that had common sense, and very few people with common sense remain. And it's a scary situation. But pray for this nation, pray for its leaders. Even though you don't like him, I can't stand to even call his name out, but we're supposed to pray for him anyway.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Hope we made you laugh or smile tonight. Queasel, take us on out.
Well, I'm gonna do something I don't normally do. I'm gonna ponder on something. I got a pondering here. Floyd done flung a craving on me. I got a pondering. I was watching television last night and I saw this video on the news of these parents that went to a school meeting about their children being sexualized and showing these X-rated, whatever kind of, I don't know the proper word you want to use, transformer, transphobic, whatever videos that they were being showed. And so they were outside the school going to do a demonstration, and here come the Antifa. And they had the mask on and the helmets on, and they went to beating and whooping on these. It was in California, on these California parents. So I'm just kind of pondering on something. Reckon why you ain't never heard of the Antifa showing up in Southwest Georgia or Southeast Alabama or Northwest Florida? Because they come down here with the little sticks that they have and throwing the little firecrackers that pop and go boom. And these fellas down here are gonna throw something a little more different at them, and they won't be around long. So the Antifa is out there bullying, I guess, is what the word might be. But they know where to go bully. They know the people that to pick on, and it is a crying shame in this country that a parent has to go through what they have to go through to protect their children from being exposed to this crap that they're making them be exposed to. I know the answer. The answer is prayer. I know that, and I know that the Lord's watching it, and I know that when He gets enough, it's all going to be over. But the human side of me just keeps saying, how much longer have we got to put up with this? How much more have we got to see? I mean, it breaks my heart when I see them trying to take away the innocence of a child. There's nothing any more special to me than the innocence of a young child that grows up and believes in Santa Claus and believes in the things that they believe in, and bringing up to go to church and to go to Sunday school and to love their mom and daddy and honor their mom and daddy and be taught to say yes ma'am and no sir. To me, I just love that the way that is, and they're taking it away from us. And when we make a stand on it, then just like those fine people that it kind of was refreshing to me to see that there were some people in California that was willing to make a stand. And then here comes a bunch of Antifa out of nowhere to jump on them. And I don't know. I don't know where we're headed. I'm thankful of this. I'm thankful that I am no longer a citizen of the United States. That doesn't matter to me. My citizenship's in heaven. I hate to see it come down for the simple reason of Floyd's example about those guys and gals that was over there and been over and fighting and died for us. These people who are rolling around with and walking around with limbs missing and fighting all kind of issues, that they done it for our country, for our freedom, so that these idiots can go out here and act like they do. No respect for them. They don't care what they went through. It just breaks my heart. I can't. I just can't. I can't understand it. Um, you're right, Charlie. We're supposed to love them. I do love them. I don't like what they do, but the Bible says we got to love them and we got to pray for them. And I'm going to continue to do that and encourage everybody else to do it. But hey, we love y'all. We're in a mess. This nation's in a mess, and it's going to take people like us. Remember, nobody took a stand till the beer drinkers stood up. So we got to take a stand. It's time to take a stand.
Excuse me. Let me throw this in. I just saw something come across the wire, and I'd never liked this guy anyway, but Garth Brooks is defending good old Bud Light.
Oh, please. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
didn't he sing a song? He sung a song about low places, so that it'd be all
Well,
right.
whoa. Now that you mentioned that, he's opening up a bar on Broadway in Nashville called Friends in Low Places. I hope he spends all of his $1 billion trying to keep it going, and he goes out of this world a pauper.
I do
Ain't
too.
got no use for him.
Yeah.
There's several more like that.
You're exactly right. But he's a star. He has
A big
stars.
star.
He's nothing. He's an absolute nothing. Well, let's move on
Claude, how
along.
about them said all I'm gonna say? Go ahead. I done said about all I'm gonna say. More
You
I
done
said, it
good, man.
matter.
You told it. Hey, it wasn't nothing but the truth. If anybody's got a problem with the truth, y'all take it up with somebody else. You ain't gonna get nowhere with us. I'll go ahead and tell you that's a waste of time. Gonna try to change us. So you go take it up with somebody else. Go push your boyfriend out or your girlfriend or whatever you want to do, but don't bother us. Craig, I got a text here from my good friend Kenny Spooner. He's the guy that snake bit. Last week
Right.
the moccasin bit that just from city property caused him the snake to bite him there. And his son watches us every Thursday night. He's a bona fide viewer. His son watching us, and he had told me to ask you if I bring my son by the station, would you show him the fire trucks? And
Absolutely. Who can't
I'm
think of
gonna
nothing I'd be more prouder to do.
all right, Kenny, if there's
Just
the answer right there, buddy. I'm out of the equation. Y'all handle it.
yes,
Y'all work
sir.
it out. Everybody will be happy. Ladies and gentlemen, time to come to a close with our show. Time flies, man. Ain't nothing. Time just flies by so quick. We got people. We got people watching from Hazelhurst, Georgia. We got people watching from all over. We got people said they enjoyed the show. We appreciate y'all staying with us throughout the duration of our show. Thank y'all so much. We got some of our Baker County friends tuned in tonight watching us. They always chime in and tell us how much they enjoyed our show, and we enjoy doing it. We have more fun than anybody does. So we have a great time doing it, and we appreciate y'all tuning us in and listening to us. We're just 3-0 South Georgia, South Alabama rednecks talking, having a conversation, and talking about the real world. But I'm gonna leave you with some things here. I'm gonna leave you with things like I always do, and I feel I would be remiss if I didn't do this. Always exercise your Second Amendment rights. You still have those rights, and the Second Amendment rights, you know what they are. Be prepared. Be prepared for anything that comes your way that you can protect yourself and your family. Exercise your Second Amendment rights. Be vigilant of your surroundings. Watch people. Put your phone in your pocketbook. Put your phone in your pocket. When you're walking from the mall to your car, from your restaurant to your, somebody better be looking around and see what's going on. See who's there. And if you got any sense at all, you'll recognize danger when you see it. Be vigilant of your surroundings. Surround yourself with like minded people. Seek them out, and your life will be a heap better. But that's it for us tonight. We appreciate y'all tuning in. We ain't got the only Bible verse I got. I got a Bible verse that I love, and this covers a lot. I'm just gonna tell you what the scripture is, and you can look it up for yourself. And this gives you God's promise right here. Psalm 91:11. Look it up. Psalm 91:11. And that'll answer a bunch of your questions right there, and it'll give you some comfort. Good night, y'all. Appreciate y'all being with us. We'll be here same place, same time next week. See y'all.
See
Good
you.
night.